Hello and good day. My name is Dr. Fred Sylvester from New Hanover Chiropractic, and welcome to this episode of Health Talk. Today is kind of a first for us. We have a distinguished author for our first time ever on our show, Charisse Marei. She had graduated from the Philadelphia College of Textiles and Sciences in the 90s. She has become an eco-conscious interior design. She's worked with numerous people over the years at this type of thing, trying to bring, I'll say, harmony to people's lives and homes and that. And we are so excited to have such a distinguished honor and author on. So today we have you coming in with our episode talking about a book that you just created.
Yes.
And it's called The Bathroom.
Yes.
Quite intriguing. Tell us about it.
Yes. Well, actually, I knew at the onset that the name of my book was going to be called The Bathroom. Mm-hmm. And why the bathroom? Well, because it's the one place that we begin and end each day, and it's a substantial place. Mm-hmm. And there's so much substance in this one small room. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, why not focus on this, because it has so much value to it.
Sure.
So I began the journey and created this book.
And so the book, as we were preparing for this, goes much more than just to the bathroom. We're starting there.
Correct.
It looks at almost every aspect of your house, your room in your house, your life, where you are, your orders, and that type of stuff. So as we were preparing for it, we were talking about that one aha moment that we were talking about, and you were saying that you were, in the bathroom, aimlessly, letting the water kind of come out of the faucet, unappreciatively going down the drain. What was that moment like? What did that speak to you? Where did it go?
So it was actually an interesting moment, because there was this little voice inside of me for quite some time that kept saying, you need to write a book, you need to get the message out there to help and guide others to understand the importance and the value of removing toxins from their life. And as I stood there, and I'm very, very meticulous with how much water is used, not only by myself but by others also.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm thinking, well, I turn the water off as I brush my teeth and turn it back on as I need it. And I'm thinking, does everyone practice this ritual? Or is it just me? And I stopped and I took a moment to analyze my space. And as I looked up into the mirror, I took notice of all the little compositions that encompassed my bathroom and what it took for me to be able to create this space. And I looked at the towels, for example, that were on the surround of my bathtub, and that mini composition and how everything was placed and the fact that they were organic. And then I shifted over into another area in the bathroom and realized that there's so much substance here. What if I tapped into all of the senses and started to create a little book?
Sure.
It was just supposed to be a little book.
Yeah, and now look what we have.
And yes, and so it began.
So I thought was really interesting, as we were talking, last week, and that about some of the, we'll say, environment that has shaped your journey at this point, particularly health at this point. Can you share with us and the viewers about how you came to the point of where you're at, and I'll say how the appreciativeness of the moment of the bathroom started to kind of become your motivation?
Well, this is actually, you asked a question that very, very few people know of. I'm an optimist at heart.
Sure.
I always look for the beauty. I try to find the good things, because if I put anything negative out, I don't want people to say, oh, and then I wish, and then start talking. So I kept everything within. So what happened, I was very physically fit, active, and at the age of 48, I had 2 mishaps.
Okay.
One was a bicycle accident, and I had head trauma.
Okay.
I lost consciousness, had head trauma. And then just a few weeks after that, I had surgery,
Sure.
a UAE surgery, and which sent me into a spiral of health debilitating concerns. And I experienced initially brain fog, lack of balance.
Sure.
So I was not able to do like yoga poses. I was no longer able to do that. And it just, the pain extended then from initially my right knee to my left. And I couldn't ride a bicycle anymore.
Wow.
And then I ended up, these 2 cysts that are here were actually in every joint of my body. So I was no longer able to have flexibility or to move. So I couldn't do down dog.
Sure. And you were a fitness advocate.
I was extremely fit, and I no longer could do the simplest things in life. I couldn't close my hands, so arthritis had set in, vision impairments, and hearing.
Sure.
And that's over these. And
Sure.
The simple things that we take for granted in life, I no longer found pleasure in, which in the latter stages, and this was years of what had taken place, in the latter stages, osteo had set in, and I wasn't a candidate. So in 1 year I had 20% bone loss.
Wow.
So if you hugged me,
Sure.
you would think I would break. And
Right.
the simple little pleasures of a pedicure, for example, and the massaging of the legs, my shin bone was so thin
Wow.
that you couldn't touch it, and it was very painful. So my husband, Dr. Ronnerman, had sent me to all of the specialists, and they were lovely and extremely knowledgeable, but no one could identify what was wrong with me.
Sure.
So he then agreed that it was time for me to follow my path of the natural modalities. And I reached out to those that I knew and from the area, and also those in other states.
Sure.
And together as a team, I did my research. They were already knowledgeable in their field. So together we put together an amazing program, and I literally stopped, reversed all of my concerns.
Wow.
And today I'm so strong and healthy, and I'm rebuilding muscle mass, and I feel fabulous.
That's awesome.
So from that, I no longer, well, obviously I lost my business. I wasn't
Sure.
able to function. And when I received calls from prospects, I continued with my interior design services, but it wasn't the same.
Okay.
And there was an inner calling for me, that little voice inside, and I listened to that because of my intuition. I listened to my intuition. We all have it.
Sure.
And it was saying, it's time to write a book. It's time to release your message into the world to help and guide others.
Sure.
And from that, Cha-Cha, my little fairy,
Sure.
came to be. Why Cha-Cha?
Yeah.
Why is she called Cha-Cha?
Yeah, curious.
Well, my name, Charisse, for short, for all of my grandbabies,
Great.
is Cha-Cha. So
Sure.
I'm Cha-Cha.
There
It's
you
all
go.
the youngsters, and it's kind of fun and whimsy.
Yes.
And so she came to be, and originally she was a green Martian. Now she has a face. And she hears, so since I physically can't go to your home if you're in another part of the world or another
Right.
state on the, she hears telepathically your wish, and she travels to your home, and she helps manifest that, what it is that you want to transform in your life,
Sure.
but only one room at a time.
One room at a time.
And that's where my series comes in, one room at a time, because why? You can only physically be in one space at one time.
Sure.
So as an interior designer, I love books. I have a library of books. I love to help other authors and to read their words and
Sure.
illustrations. And I thought, how could someone that knows nothing about any of this take in a whole entire house at one time when really you can only be here at one time?
Right.
So let's not clutter your mind.
Sure.
Let's do one room at a time.
Right.
And that's how that came to be. And my younger brother, Derek, said to me, Charisse, is your book going to be one page long? What can you possibly write about the bathroom?
Sure.
Well, there are volumes of what I have through my research and putting this together. I condensed 2 separate books into one, so the book is interactive. And I take you on a journey. So it's not your typical design book.
Sure.
It's full of color, it's whimsical, it's interactive,
Sure.
and I help you and I guide you and I give you the tools of the trade so that you can manifest what it is, your own personal style, your flair,
Sure.
and that will come forth. And I empower you with that. I show you how to do
Do
it.
it, right.
I don't have an influence of my personal style in there at all.
Sure.
But I do share my PPs,
Sure.
which are my
Art.
personal preferences.
Nothing wrong with
And
that.
there'll be one here, one there, and it's just as a guide. So it's like, Cha-Cha's your guide. Here's your guide in case you don't know where to begin. This is what I do.
Sure.
But find your personal style,
Right.
your personal flair. And the book, I share like my thoughts and then you'll put in your thoughts or
Sure.
what I came to know that I didn't know from writing this book and analyzing this space, and then you write yours.
Sure.
So together we form a friendship,
Yes.
though we may never meet.
Exactly.
But what you do is it's about family and gathering and sharing what you know with others in your home and to guide others
Sure.
to have this transformation. So it's not just about the bathroom. It's really about what you see, what you feel within, and what you nurture within, and that's what is a reflection in your environment.
I think you're kind of alluding to this, and like I said, I'm very interested in this next question is that sacred space, okay? So whether you say you only have the room to this desk to be your sacred space, or you have it to be your bathroom, what is a sacred space? What does that look like?
Oh, it's so simple. A sacred space is a space that has no negative energy. Because when you have negative energy, what manifests?
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
Look at Imato with water and how he transformed water telepathically. So I believe that you need to have and should have a positive mindset.
Sure.
Any negative thoughts? Oh,
Yeah.
I love this. So when I was writing the book, it's a happy book, a happy place.
Sure.
I don't use one toxic word, even when I wrote the
I've
chapter on
noticed.
toxins.
Right.
Not one. I did initially, but that went into the wastebasket because
Sure.
I flopped like a fish out of water all night thinking this is in opposition to my message. So I took it, put it in the trash can, and rewrote that chapter with zest.
Wow.
And it's so beautiful. But I empower you with what it is that you need to know to identify what it is that you don't want to have.
Sure.
So a negative space and a sacred space are in complete opposition. Really, it's about having a sacred space of pure beauty, harmony, for what? For balance and to have inner joy and happiness.
So can you kind of share with us, some habits that you've developed personally from, we'll say that you have to probably nurture to create gratitude, or I'll even say the positivity of a sacred space, and probably some things that you have to let go, that create a negative energy. Can you expand on that?
Well, gratitude is a beautiful thing, and it's something that we should all have every day of our lives. It's how to be thankful for what it is. Can I
Oh, yeah,
share
sure.
something with you in my book? There's this beautiful excerpt in here. Let me find that for you. And I tap into the senses, and because I think with your approach, with anyone's approach, it's about how you interweave your gratefulness each day. And that truly is reflected in your aura, who you are, and people feel that energy. They may not know why,
Your
but
essence,
they either know if they want to be around you or not.
For sure.
And I surround myself with like people.
Wonderful.
Yes. Okay. So this is beautiful,
Sure.
and it touches the heart, and you'll find when you read the words in the book, each word was chosen specifically in detail, and it's heartfelt, and it has purpose.
Sure.
There's not a word in here that doesn't have purpose.
Wow.
So, as the sun rises on each new day, my overall approach remained constant with minor tweaking, and this is where the five senses come in.
Sure.
I see myself in the mirror. I say, "Good morning, sunshine. You are special. I am grateful for another day to live, laugh, love with zest.
Sure.
To breathe with ease, to feel the warmth of the sun, to love and to be loved, to be passionate, patient, persistent, to learn, to grow, and to guide.
Wow.
I feel confirmation and inner joy as thoughts flourish through my being, surfacing, radiating, until my aura beams with beautiful color, extending far beyond my physical stature. Telepathically, I feel the urge to send wishes of pure love and protection to my family, especially my grandbabies and the girls, Sage and Citrus, my Bijans. I feel positive energy saturate the room and the gaze of Sage through me. I smell the crispness of the morning dew as it blends with the aromatic delights nourishing my being and the breathable air.
Sure.
I hear a voice within that says, "Today, as the day before, is a gift. Continue along this path of enrichment, fulfilling your journey to a beautiful, eco-conscious, healthy living lifestyle.
Sure.
I am grateful." And then you have flowers. Like, flowers are so beautiful.
Oh, they are.
I've never seen a flower that wasn't beautiful.
That's true. That is true.
And so that's...
So you can kind of get an excerpt from, what the type of message that you're trying to bring. And it seems like, in every page that you tie gratitude, appreciation, present day consciousness of the moment, as opposed to being hurried, into, the next event and staying present-minded per se. And that's what I think that you've done beautifully through the book as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So when we're looking at that, we look at how gratitude, how you've written. If a person would want to look and consult your services at this point, what could they experience? What would they expect? What could they experience with you?
Well,
Whether it's through the book, personally, however.
well, my style is eclectic, as people are individuals. So I really design what the client needs by what they tell me.
Sure.
So each one is to their individual style and
Pull
their
this out,
needs. So what I may do for you will be different for someone else, per
Sure.
se. So there is no one thing, but I do offer private consultations, and I can go into someone's home and help them identify what it is that they need to remove, not only from the bathroom, but from their life. So
Absolutely.
I interweave interior design, I interweave feng shui, biology, which is about living, breathing organisms, our buildings,
Sure.
and how everything is intertwined. So it's not just one school of thought, it's everything.
So you're taking the atmosphere, the environment, and making it into a positive energy.
Not only that, but it's an extension of your inner self too. And I talk about a clutter feeling.
Yeah.
So if you have a clutter feeling, that's another word for stress. So I don't use the word stress, so I've coined a clutter feeling.
Sure.
And a clutter feeling is that which is within emotionally, and that which is what we see in our physical environment. And I explain to you in detail in here what to do when that surfaces, what to do when you see that, and how to remove it
Sure.
and instill all positive purity and
Wonderful.
goodness. Because there's enough stuff out in the world that we don't need.
Sure.
And this is a place to go to that you feel safe,
Yeah.
as is a timeless keepsake.
Sure.
So each chapter in here commences with my story, and I share something about my first bathroom in each chapter
Sure.
that pertains to chapter content.
Yes.
At the end of the chapter, I invite you to write your story, and you go to a timeless keepsake, and this
Sure.
is the journal, and you write your story in here. But it's a place where I show you how to place your intention, how to infuse this book with your energy,
Sure.
and to write. And there's no editing, there's no wrong.
Sure.
It's about what has already happened in the past, the present, and what has yet to come in the future.
Sure.
And when you're finished with this book, you take this book and you pass this on to someone that you love.
Sure.
And what you're passing on is your energy,
You're right.
your love, your emotions, how you see the world, how
Sure.
you portray the world. And then this is something that they can keep forever, whether it's a sibling, a grandbaby, your child, whomever. So it's timeless and
Absolutely.
it's forever.
Sure. I'm always amazed because I like to write and journal too, and I'm always amazed that you can take a blank pages and fill them.
Yes, turn it into a
Turn it-
canvas.
Whatever it is.
Yes.
Whether it's words, pictures, whatever. But I'm always
Yes.
amazed at how that can take on its own energy and its own lifestyle.
Yes.
So what is in here?
Oh, so this is, so I'm all about sustainability,
Yeah.
protecting our environment, eco. And as business entrepreneurs know, everything is, designed by what you see, feel, and believe in. So everything I do is with recycled content, again, to protect our environment. Even my water bottles.
How about that?
There's a section in there on conservation, water especially.
Sure.
So I only use glass, and so this is how someone would receive something from me
Okay.
in the mail.
So this is what they could expect.
This is what you would expect from if you ordered books from me,
Sure.
or when I should say when you order books from me, and everything is simple, with a splash of color.
That's right.
So this is all cycled material. So inside, and then so in here, this is a little notebook.
Okay.
that you can take inside and just write your thoughts. Little to-dos of the day, running here and there, put it in your little satchel, your purse, what have you. And they come in 3 colors to coordinate with the book.
Okay.
And I also
Got to.
love this. So I designed my bookmarks. They're double-sided. This is the front, and then it has Release, Renew, Revitalize. And Release, Renew, Revitalize is very important to me and to my books and everything I do, because it's about letting go
Sure.
and renewing and bringing in new.
Sure.
So actually this, well, I'll talk about that in a second. So this is all sustainable,
Okay.
and the butterfly actually comes off.
Oh,
So you take the butterfly off. I'll show you how to make an intention.
sure.
So in Feng Shui, so you would take the butterfly off and place your intention with the butterfly in your hands.
Okay.
What is it that you want to manifest? What is it that you want to take into your life? What do you need to change?
Sure.
And then take this and place it inside the soil. So you'll want to dig some soil, move the soil around, take the butterfly, plant it in the soil,
Okay.
and then flowers will grow.
No kidding.
So you make your little wish and you can watch it. And then on the other side is a quote. And here, this is one of the quotes that's in A Timeless Keepsake.
So I may laugh, I may cry, I may embrace, I may share. It's my journey. Release, renew, revitalize. Beautiful.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Ingenious.
So, so it's kind of exciting because it's not just your typical bookmark. And when you take this off, the flowers have already bloomed
No kidding.
underneath.
That's great.
So that's that. And then inside are
The book.
the books. So it fits both books inside. So
Well,
that's this.
before we close, you have to explain the bracelet. And that was something that we were looking at before. I'll take that.
Thank you.
So, and again, this actually comes back to your
Bracelet.
some of your health issue as well, and how this bracelet kind of ties into that as well. So, kind of give us a little insight to that.
Okay. So do you want to, can you hand me my little
I
bag?
sure can.
So this is, I really believe in helping others and,
Sure.
and guiding others any way I can, because I've had the good fortune of having a family that is so
Sure.
nurturing and beautiful, and I love everyone.
Wonderful.
And so when I was not feeling well and I started to design my books, everything I designed is with purpose. And this is the Cha-Cha bracelet. And in here, this is when I was not able to use my hands and I couldn't see.
Sure.
I lost my empowerment because I didn't have the strength to work my bracelets.
Right.
So in designing this, at the very first, like you write down your wish list. What are all the things? And the first one was, it has to be a bracelet where women with whatever is going on with you, whether it's fibromyalgia, arthritis, vision concerns, whatever it may be, that you can use this bracelet and empower yourself with the ability to be
do.
able to do that
Right.
and not have to rely on anyone else. And it's so easy to put on,
Sure.
off, to take off. So this is, I have 2 sizes. So this is the one, and there's a little card on how to place your intention inside.
Okay.
Because you want to infuse this with your energy. So when you have a cluttered feeling, I show you how to release and let that go. And how to bring in a new.
Sure.
So this is the bracelet, and then the 3 dangles, as I refer to them in my book, are Release, Renew, Revitalize. And my acupuncturist said, Charisse, do you realize that this is on the meridian line to release?
Of course.
Of course. And then the unity comes in with the pendant. I have only 6 colors.
Okay.
And then it could be for all of your best friends,
Sure.
mother, daughter, again. The chain of those that mean the most to you
Sure.
can have the same. And then, again, you want to infuse this with your energy. And then you pass this on again to the one that you love.
Wow.
So it's not just something to toss in a drawer.
Sure.
It has value, it has energy, and everything on here is, I have the angel light stones and green aventurine, and again, for higher beings, and recycled glass. So it all has purpose. And I have either met in person or I have spoken to at great lengths where all of my resources, so all the energy is good. And then my friends came together and we made and produced the first 100 bracelets.
Oh, wow.
So they're all made with love. They're
That's great.
beautiful.
They are beautiful. Absolutely.
And I have a little special something for you.
Why you didn't have to do.
For having me here. So just a little something for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
So as I'm
you.
looking at this, tell me what your take-home message is. What do you want people to know? So as we went through, you know, we'll say the order of the questions and that type of stuff, the real authentic moment right now, what do you want people to know?
It's to be conscious of your environment. Your environment has such an impact on what you do. It should be nurturing and filled with balance and have a harmonious flow to bring forth your inner light, to let who you are shine forth. And it's about transformation. So be prepared, be ready to value you on a much higher level.
That's wonderful. So Charisse, thank you so much for this gift, and thank you for your time for coming on here. It's been a pleasure. One of the things I've kind of gained from our conversations and our lead up to this whole thing is about being intentional. And that is one thing that I think that you bring to the forefront, and your energy is so positive and it's so wonderful, and you're passionate about what you do. But being present-minded and understanding about the concept of just being intentional about your actions, your behaviors, your thoughts. What goes into you comes out of you.
Absolutely.
It's one of the things I think is beautiful about you, and I think that everybody who has an opportunity to put this into their lives will only be better for it.
Yes. I'm excited for the journey.
Absolutely.
Thank
So,
you.
Again, this was Health Talk. Good day, good health.